good morning, everybody. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice program, our show, brought to you by Tanner Health System. I'm your host this morning, Colin Worthington. Our guest is Shirley Marchman. She's kind enough to travel down south to talk with us about the Thomas Dorsey Festival, which is coming up this weekend in Villa Rica. Starts tonight, and it's a rain or shine kind of thing, I'm understanding, Shirley Marchman.
Yes. We just praying that the good Lord is just going to hold back the rain for as long as we can have the festival.
Well, Thomas Dorsey...
If not, we just going
to... he's got an in. I mean, he should have an in with, whoever's up there, right?
Oh,
I mean, he wrote a couple songs for him.
He and I are longtime friends.
Well, good.
We talking about the Lord, not the man upstairs.
Thomas Dorsey. Well, you are one of the co-organizers, co-creators of the festival, right? Is that fair to say?
Yes, I'm on the board.
Also a Villa Rica City Councilman. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show, too.
You sure we're going to talk about that?
Well, there's some good stuff going on in Villa Rica. Good, fun stuff.
If you say so.
Hopefully, maybe, I don't want to say it's the end of an era, but it's putting some bad stuff behind you, and you're looking forward to some good stuff. That's fair enough to say.
Okay.
All right.
You say so.
All right. Well, Thomas Dorsey Festival, that begins tonight. I think the first... what time does that start tonight? You guys are showing off jazz.
6:30.
6:30. I guess for some people who aren't sure about Dorsey, give us his story. We know he was born in Villa Rica, and it's July 1st, 1899.
Yes.
So what's his deal? Why do we think he's cool? Why do we want to celebrate him? I'm going to kick back here. You tell us a story.
Considered the father of gospel music. Mm-hmm. He started out with blues and gospel, but the good Lord had a hand in it and got his mind going in the right direction. So he decided to stop making blues and to concentrate on gospel. Mm-hmm. The story that is most, I guess, famous or the most talked about is the song that he wrote, Precious Lord, Take My Hand. And the story behind that was that he was away to organize the convention, and he got this telegram that his wife had died. So distraught, he left to go home, and the baby died the next day. So the funeral, the baby and the wife was buried together, and we have had the opportunity to go to the cemetery where he is buried in Chicago. But the story goes that he was very distraught, and he went in this room to sit at the piano, which was what he loved doing. And he had this music in his head that came in his head, and the words. And being distraught, you can understand how the words came about. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I'm tired, I'm wearied, I'm worn. So we all gone through some of those things. So that would be a good song that we can really sing. It's better than the new. I don't have anything against the new, but when you get down and out, you really want some of that good old gospel music that has the words and the flavor that would really get to you. So that was how he came up with Precious Lord, Take My Hand, which is recorded, and I understand that it's in 32 different languages. Lyndon Johnson wanted that song at his funeral. Martin Luther King wanted that song at his funeral. So there's a lot of history with that song, along with other songs that he's written, over 400 songs. He's considered the father of gospel music. And back in the day.
Georgia.
Excuse me?
And he came from Villa Rica, Georgia.
Of course, he was born in Villa Rica, Georgia. Of course. And so that's one reason why then Mayor Teddy Lee was approached by this man named Evan Wilson. That was in 93 when Dr. Dorsey died, that we should do something to commemorate him in Villa Rica. And Mayor Lee suggested that Evan would get in touch with me, since I was on the council and since I sing in gospel music in the church. So he contacted me. We got together, and he was like, "We need to do something." And I'm like, "What?" So I said, "Well, what do you think about forming a choir?" Because he was about music. So that's how that got started. My cousin, Charlie Stiles, the late Charlie Stiles, we got together and sent out letters to various areas around Villa Rica, and we got together and we started this choir. And his brother, the late Reverend Verlin Stiles, was our musician, and we had a good turnout. And we've been going strong since '93. Evan was very instrumental in getting that done and getting the Navy music band to come and be a part of it. And like I said, Dr. Dorsey started the National Convention of Gospel Choirs and Choruses, which the Villa Rica Birthplace Choir is a part of that convention. And the national president came down. We were there in Villa Rica, and we've got a marker that talks about the achievements of Dr. Dorsey. So it's still growing. We're not as large as we were, but we're still as strong because of our faith and our love for gospel music. You know, back in the day when Dr. Dorsey first got started, preachers didn't want that type of music in their church, because it was that bluesy music. But if you listen to the words and not the music, you can understand a lot of things that transpire in our lives, that we really need some good old soul-searching gospel music that'll bring us through.
Now, you attend Mount Prospect Baptist Church?
Mount Prospect Baptist Church. That's where Dr. Dorsey...
his father was...
Yeah, his father preached there, and his mother played the organ. And it stated that he was playing around up under the organ while doing church service, and I guess that's where his love of gospel music came from. And you roots is like a foundation. You got to have something to grow on, and you never get away from your roots. The scripture tells you, train up a child in the way he should go, and he won't. When he gets old, he won't depart from. But now he might stray away. But if it's rooted and grounded in you, you're gonna come back to it.
I think he left Villa Rica maybe around 1909, 1910, something like that. So I'm picturing just a little dirt road town, and the church might have been the only thing sticking out, really at that time.
Well, yeah, the story goes that his father felt like he couldn't make it on just preaching, and that so he was going to Atlanta to try to find some type of employment. And I think they left, they came back, but then eventually they went back to Atlanta. But you have to take care of your family, and you have to do what you have to do. But still, that love of music was embedded in him, and he played in some clubs and things, but eventually he had to come on back to where he loved and knew what God was doing, working in his life.
Yeah, so he is Villa Rica's probably favorite son. I think it's safe to say if he has a festival, of course, Asa Candler.
Well, yeah, the story about the candles with the formula for Coca-Cola, and you don't want to take anything away from anybody. And then with the gold mine, there's a debate between Villa Rica and Dahlonega about who first had the first gold rush day. But of course, we're gonna take it as being Villa Rica. You got to say, you got to toot your own horn. So,
and it kind of brings me into with Chicago. I kind of feel like there's maybe not a debate, but Chicago does take some credit in being maybe the home of gospel music. Because that's where the songs started to build up and become famous that were set out. So, and they do a tribute to Dorsey, too, every year.
It's an ongoing fun argument that we have at the National Convention, or, because there's a Chicago Dorsey choir, and they'll say, and when we're at the convention, we have about, we have a lot of choirs from all over the United States that comes together the first week of August for the convention, and they'll say, this one will say, well, we were the first so and so, we'll do this, and me being the president of the choir, I'll say, well, we are the birthplace choir, and they'll tell me to hush, but it's all in fun. But so I said, nobody else can say that they're the birthplace choir, because there's a lot of Dorsey choirs. They're the greater so and so, and the greater that has the Dorsey tacked onto them. But we can say that we're the birthplace choir, so that gives us a little leverage.
One more question on Dorsey before we take our break here. His family, you and I talked last week. His family has started to, maybe the last 4 or 5 years, they've started to come and attend this. I think his daughter and
yes, his daughter, his grandson, and some of the nieces and nephews. So we're proud of that. It makes us feel proud that at least nobody, not talking about the family, but nobody can say we're a little fly-by-night thing after 20-something years. I think we've established the fact that, we're about business and we're about doing this. So it was just a joy for us to be able to actually see some of the people that we've talked about and that we heard about all these years, and that they are becoming a part of us. So that makes us proud that for little Villarica, it gives us a stick out our chest type thing to say, well, his daughter come to visit us, and they've donated a few of his archive pieces to us, so we feel honored, and we've got them, out showing where you can see it. And so if you ever come out of church, we'd be glad to show you the Dorsey wall. That's me naming it Dorsey wall, because we've got it fixed up on the wall. So,
well, what you guys hope, there's been discussion that you guys maybe hope to do something a little bit more with those things that you display in the future, in the near future. Right?
Yes, our long-term, hopefully short-term goal is a museum. Mm-hmm. And, we can permanently show these pieces and other things that we think is important enough. And our national president, she's now we have a lady president. Dr. Bishop Kenneth Mose was the president after Dr. Dorsey died for all these years, but in his passing, then we have Dr. Mary Beth Gentry out of St. Louis is our national president, and she really supports us, and she wants to come down and be a part of the festival. And we have members from the other areas that have their choir, and they come down from Philadelphia, and they like to come down and see what they're doing in Georgia, because we're in the Southeast region, and in the convention, we're one of the strongest parts of the convention, and so they like to come down and see what we're doing down here in the South, because the South will rise, has risen, so they want to be a part of that.
Well, this is the 22nd annual Thomas A. Dorsey Birthplace Festival. Begins today. A celebration of jazz, gospel, and blues music. I think tonight we'll start at 7 o'clock. It's going to be jazz up in 6:30. Well, you probably want to get there earlier, though, too. Get yourself some seats, right?
Yes.
And we're not worried about rain. Right.
No, we just thinking that the good Lord is just going to favor us.
And then Saturday, 3 o'clock, that's when the gospel portion of the program. And then
at Mount Prospect Baptist Church, 133 Thomas Dorsey Drive.
And then 6:30 will be the blues portion. There'll be some fireworks afterwards, too.
Yes, that's true. So, plenty of vendors and plenty of good food, so just come out and enjoy.
As we take our break here, you want to sing us into the commercial break?
No, sir, I do not.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. You just have to come to the concert to hear us sing.
8:44. Shirley Marchman's our guest on this morning's WLBB Community Voice program. I forgot we're on Facebook Live, too, so how do our friends watching us and listening to us on Facebook this morning? And we'll come back and talk city stuff. We'll come back and talk politics.
Maybe.
All right, after this break. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System here on News Talk 1330 WLBB.
In sports, when you play to win, you get your game on. Shouldn't the same be true when it comes to your health? At Tanner Health System, we're going to help you get your healthy on. Tanner is leading the way for you to eat better, get fit, manage or prevent diabetes, and live tobacco-free, so you and your family can get your healthy on every day. It all starts at gethealthylivewell.org. Check out upcoming healthy living events and join others in the community taking action to live well every day. GetHealthyLiveWell.org. Tanner Health System's way of helping you get your healthy on.
Need motivation and support to eat healthier, become more physically active, or quit tobacco? Tanner offers free classes to help you get your healthy on. Register today by calling 770-214-CARE. That's 770-214-CARE. Learn more at gethealthylivewell.org.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice Program, our show, brought to you by Tanner Health System. We're streaming live on Facebook this morning, so good morning to everybody. Thanks for tuning in to see Shirley Marchman. She's a co-creator, co-founder of the Thomas Dorsey Festival, and that's going on this weekend. We'll talk more on that as we wrap up the program here in about 10 minutes. 8:46. Shirley is also on the City Council, in case you didn't know, and I'm going to think you're like one of the most veteran council people in the whole county.
Since 91.
Since 91. I mean,
take 4 years off of that because right. I had to give up my seat to run for mayor in, I believe it was 2004. And I did pretty good. I lost by 8 votes to the Representative Jay Collins. And there's a little funny story about that. In reporters reporting the election in the different cities, and I was told that they said they wasn't going to report in Villa Rica anymore because we were boring, because I didn't do negative talk about Jay, and Jay didn't do negative talk about me. So that, I guess that was a little boring, considering the other cities had a lot of commotion going on. But anyway, yes.
You and Coach Best, Verlin Best, I'm going to say probably the
longest time. Yes, we're probably the veterans of it. I think some of the constituents think that we should shorten our term, shorten the limit of time that people can run. But I feel like as long as somebody's interested enough to want to do something good for the community, to represent the community, as long as they're doing the job, why you... It ain't broke, don't fix.
And nobody stepped up the last at least 2 times to challenge you guys, either of them. So if you don't like them, step in there, run against them.
Yeah, following in my father's footsteps. So,
well, you guys have had a pretty busy year, couple years. I mean, you had your mayor step down, and then had to run
council member step down.
Council member step down. You've had to replace those. City manager, you guys, city manager and the city parted ways, we'll say, in February. And that's kind of been an interesting search. That's 4 months you guys have been searching for a city manager. After David Milliron left, the city brought a man in to kind of weed out the applications and kind of help you guys find a city manager. And this was a black eye for Villa Rica, and I do want to bring this up, as I never got your opinion on it. Never talked to you about it. The gentleman was hired in early March as interim Villa Rica city manager. He would find a candidate to fill in that permanent job. Now, it went public, so I don't know who brought it to anybody's attention or anything, but it went public that he said something along the lines that Villa Rica is not ready to have an African-American as city manager. He was removed from his position pretty quickly after that went public. I feel it was probably wrong for him to say that, but why? But is he wrong? Do you think the city of Villa Rica would have been ready for a black city manager? I mean,
why not?
Why not? But why? I mean, for him to say that he may be speaking on behalf of the whole city, like he thinks that maybe there are people in the city that wouldn't accept that.
Truthfully, it probably would have been, but I don't think that would have caused a person to be given that opportunity. I mean, like I always said, racism is alive and well, no matter where or what. But we've got to get beyond that. People say I don't look at color now. I think that's an untruth. You go look at color. You can't help, but if you look at a person, you gonna see color. But the way it's handled is the key to it. You look at a person's qualifications, and if they qualify, I don't say just hire a person because of color. I'm not one to say, well, we need an African American or a black person. If they're not qualified, I wouldn't hire them either. But if they've got the qualification, I think they should be given, no, not think, I know they should be given a chance. So, that sort of rubbed me the wrong way, of course.
Do you think Villa Rica is being scrutinized now? Do you think people are watching these candidates? There was 4 candidates up until about 2 weeks ago. One of them was an African American. You kind of decide, okay, does Villa Rica need to put an African American in those final 4 just to prove this wrong? But he's not in the race anymore. Apparently, he stepped down.
Yeah, that's debatable as to why he stepped down. But anyway, I definitely know that he should be given a chance, and he was put back on the running list, and then for some reason he dropped out or he was moved off. I don't know the detail. I know there's conflicting stories, so I'm not gonna get in. I don't know which one is right. So, and if that offends people because I'm questioning it, then that's what they got to live with it, and I've got to live with what I think, because I've got a right to think the way I think, and until you prove me wrong, then I've got an opinion. My brother always say opinion is like, everybody got one.
All right. I want you cussing this morning.
I won't do that. I probably definitely won't do that. But anyway,
I'll ask you this before we got to take another break. But what do you look for? What are you going to look for in these final 3 candidates? What do you guys could make your decision as early as next Thursday, possibly into July. What are the qualities that the candidate for Villa Rica City Council needs? For city manager, I'm sorry.
Honesty, integrity, somebody that is strong enough to lead the city. I mean, we've got a lot of issues and a lot of things going on that we need a strong person. Like, we've got this image or whatever on our back that, we go through city managers like whatever. But we need somebody that's strong enough to be able to handle differences of opinions, strong differences of opinions, and not just, my main thing is somebody that's gonna do and say what we need to hear, not what we want to hear. Because all the time what we want might not be what we really need. So if that person is really qualified, then they can weed through differences of opinion and give us the right direction to go, because the city really needs, like you said, we've been without. So we really need somebody that's strong enough to stand up to all of us.
8:54, talking with Shirley Marchman, city councilwoman for the city of Villa Rica. Come back and we'll talk about Thomas Dorsey one more time, promote the event coming up after this break. Absolutely. Got about 6 minutes left before 9 o'clock. Community Voice is brought to you by Tanner Health System here on News Talk 1330.
Need help finding something healthy to eat? Tanner Health System has an app for that. Minuit helps you find healthy food options on the go. The smartphone app is powered by Tanner's health experts, who teamed up with restaurants across West Georgia to make it easier for you to choose healthy food and eat better. Minuit acts like your personal nutrition assistant, showing you the healthiest items on the menu. So when you're not sure what's good to eat, Minuit. You can even use the app to look up recipes and plan healthy meals at home, and modify your options based on nutritional preferences, such as a low-sodium or vegetarian diet. Minuit and Tanner Health System, making it easier to eat healthy and live well. A healthier lifestyle is only a fingertip away. Minuit is free to download on your Apple or Android smartphone. You can download it today by searching Minuit in the App Store or on Google Play. Learn more about Minuit at gethealthylivewell.org.
Just get on Facebook.
Yep. show you how to do that a little bit. Shirley Marchman, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. Our show brought to you by Tanner Health System here on News Talk 1330 WLBB. Also streaming live online, newstalk1330.com. And you can see us on Facebook Live. See how lovely Shirley Marchman is this morning.
Oh, my goodness.
Shirley brought me a biscuit. Thank you very much.
Don't tell everybody.
Well, they'll expect it now. I think, I've been encouraging guests to do that. Cause,
yeah, they're thank you for having me.
But now we're kind of sleepy, too. We had that biscuit and ready to sleep. Hey, talking about people watching us on Facebook Live, you got a comment from Donna Armstrong Lackey. She says she loves Mrs. Shirley.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah, she's a sweet lady, Donna. Hey, you got about 5 minutes left in the program. And let's promote the festival one last time. Thomas Dorsey Festival, number 22.
Yes. Please come out. We will be expecting a big crowd. We love what we do, and we love entertaining, and we hope to see your face in the place tonight as well as tomorrow. Don't even have to worry about getting any food. You can come out. We've got all kinds of food, from phone cakes to barbecue to you name it, and we'll have it there. So don't have to worry about that. Just come on out and be a part of us, and we love to. And by all means, come by and let me know you're there so I can personally welcome you, and hope that you will just continue to support the Dorsey Festival.
7 o'clock is jazz. And local bands, mostly, majority of the bands performing tonight, local bands, local talent?
No, not really. No, not really.
All right.
We got people from all around. We're not just concentrating on local people. We like to expand ourselves and see if we get other people from other places. They'll bring their friends in to be a part of it, to see them, and that just makes us grow and be one big happy family. Sitting out there hoping that the Lord will hold back the rain for a little while. So you all just continue to help us pray for good weather tonight. Well, not good weather. All weather is good weather, but not rainy weather tonight.
Unwet, non-wet.
Yeah.
The bands, any of these bands, they play Thomas Dorsey songs? I'm sure the gospel will on Saturday.
Yeah, some of them do, because I think one of them does the Peace in the Valley. As you know, that was written by Dr. Dorsey, although Elvis Presley made it famous. But that was written by our Dr. Dorsey.
Was that performed in churches a lot before Elvis Presley made it famous? Do you think, I don't remember, maybe you heard it in his church as well.
Yeah, it's in some of the songbooks, Peace in the Valley. It's not played with it doesn't have the little spiff to it that the big bands play it, but it's played in the gospel. I mean, in the churches.
What do we think about parking downtown for this event?
You better get there early.
Yeah, and bring your poncho.
Yeah, and your lawn chair, just in case the good Lord shines his dry weather on us. That we will just have a good time this evening and all day tomorrow. So just come on out and be a part of it. We'd be glad to have you in our celebration in honor of Dr. Thomas Andrew Dorsey.
Shirley Marchman, I'm glad and honored for you to come. I mean, you're one of my favorite people. There's no doubt, I promise.
Yeah, right.
I tell you that all the time. And
I bribed him with the biscuit this morning, y'all.
Well, you brought me the biscuit because you know you're one of my favorite people.
Yeah, he tells me that. I that's to be debated. We're going to have to discuss that sometime.
And I enjoy your conversation. I also meant to mention that you're a graduate of Carver High School, too, because I think that's a pretty big deal. I like hearing about that as well. But we'll do that some other time because we've got like a minute to go.
I graduated from Carver. Also, I went to Carver Bible School, too, in Atlanta. So that's I wanted to learn a little bit more about the Lord. So I went over there.
And he straightened you out.
I come up with a 4.0 average. Can you believe that?
I can believe that. We got to go. 30 seconds. Shirley Marchman, our guest, thank you.
Thank you for inviting me down.
Thank you for watching us on Facebook Live. Thank you for listening on News Talk 1330 WLBB. We're seeing some sunshine right now. Hopefully that'll stick around all evening.
Praise the Lord.
Stick around tomorrow. Stay tuned for national news coming up at 9 o'clock. Have a great weekend, everybody.